Our apologies that the first few minutes of this video does not focus on the speaker's face. But hang in there, by about minute 2, it adjusts itself. Thank you.
She's going to be joining Procter & Gamble this summer as a data analytics and insights intern.
So just 3 years ago, I was a senior in high school receiving an Aspiration and Computing Award myself. Everyone around me was saying that my future in computer science was bright, and I'm sure many of you have heard that as well. But truthfully, I remember feeling so nervous and so scared of what the future might hold. It's hard to imagine what a college degree, let alone a career in computer science, really means. So I hope by sharing the myriad of experiences I've had, I can help all of you appreciate that today is just the first step on what will be a continuous journey of discovering yourself and your passions. My journey in computing all started because I love video games and I thought I'd be a game designer. But the first coding class I took was one of the first times I felt really motivated and inspired by what I was making myself. I took that inspiration and I developed a local educational program for 5th graders so that they could learn to code through teaching Python lessons and creating projects for them to work on. I looked forward to meeting with the students each week because seeing how excited they were to work on a project reminded me of my first steps in computing myself. Running the program solidified my desire to major in computer science at the University of Michigan. My first year of college I realized that deciding to major in computer science is entirely different from knowing what I wanted to do.
I don't know why it's picking up your middle instead of your head.
Yeah, I can stand back here.
That's not a great background.
Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's as good as we can do.
All right, well, my first year of college, I realized that doing computer science as a major is entirely different from what the actual career path looks like. This was the first time I became aware of the many paths that you can take with the major. I decided to focus on getting more tangible skills related to computer science and work on a project with real-world impacts. I joined an undergraduate research program as a research assistant to Dr. Karandeep Singh, who works in the Machine Learning for Learning Health Sciences lab at U of M's medical school. My role was to help develop and publish his R packages. And during my time there, we were able to publish ClinSpacey, which is a package that takes in a patient description and using natural language processing will map it to biomedical terms such as diseases, drugs, procedures. In the lab, I was surrounded by master's students working in computational medicine and bioinformatics, as well as medical professionals. I really enjoyed being able to learn more about their fields while also teaching them about R and how to create packages. Inspired by this experience, at the beginning of my sophomore year, I started searching for opportunities to work on more multidisciplinary projects. I came across the multidisciplinary design program at U of M, and I joined a project that was led by an architecture professor, actually. Our work was mainly promoting human connection following COVID by connecting the 2 campuses on U of M, which if you are not aware, they're 15 minutes away from each other by bus. So through my time on the team, I came to understand the true meaning of multidisciplinary work. I was working with graphic designers, architects, and urban planners. So each member of the team had their own expertise, but we all contributed to every part of the project, despite our backgrounds. I wanted to apply this concept to all aspects of my life, especially professionally. As you may be starting to notice, my journey in computing was starting to evolve. I'd been working on completing a computer science major for 2 years at this point and was surrounded by people pursuing software engineering. But I started to realize that software engineering might not be the right fit for me. Even though working on these projects had given me a lot of hands-on experience with software engineering, I didn't feel the same passion that I did at the start. I wanted to learn more about how to translate those computational skills to people in other functions who don't have the same depth of knowledge in computational thinking. Starting out in computer science, it can seem as if there's one narrow path for using computing skills. However, I was discovering there are opportunities everywhere. I started to wonder where else I could apply my computational skills other than developing apps and websites. I knew I wanted to work in an environment made up of people with unique skills and ideas and solve business challenges using computing. I'd taken 7 classes in computer science and the idea of leaving behind a major that I put hundreds of hours of work into seemed very daunting. But I wrestled with the idea for over a semester and did a lot of personal reflection and research and discovered industrial operations engineering, or IOE. Now, many of you may not know what IOE is. So it's a field that focuses on analyzing, designing, and optimizing all systems. It gave me the opportunity to take my programming skills and apply them in the context of business. For example, learning how to run optimization programs in Python that can solve everything from scheduling problems to budgeting concerns. This was a huge, unexpected turn in my career, but it's opened so many doors in my personal journey with computing that I feel so excited about. For example, I had the opportunity to manage a consulting project myself with the company Zoom Info that focused on improving the user interface of their product. And looking out to the future, this summer, I will be working at Procter & Gamble to analyze data pertaining to their largest customer and draw insights to further the success of their products. I wanted to share my journey with all of you today because it's been anything but straightforward. I never would have predicted I would have worked in machine learning lab or changed majors or developed a passion for interdisciplinary work such as product management. I didn't end up in bioinformatics or developing apps. And even after 3 years in college, I still feel like I'm exploring my interests. But I can tell you that it has been so rewarding for me. You all are here today because you have a very bright future ahead of you in computing. Back in high school, I thought I needed to get my future right. But I hope that the one thing you take away from my journey is that there is no single right path to discovering where computing sits in your life and your career. I encourage each and every one of you to explore the boundaries of your interests. Computational skills can be applied almost everywhere. Yes, that's overwhelming, but it's also very inspiring. Whether you're interested in software engineering or music generation, you can find a computing software that matches your interests. Tangibly, what does my advice boil down to? Over the next few years, I encourage you to take an exploring mindset. Try at least one extracurricular or class that you don't know a lot about but feel interested in. Build a program that you're passionate about. Meet people that don't have a computing background and who can provide another lens to view the applications of computing. But whatever you choose to explore is worthwhile because this is your personal journey that only you get to discover the destination for. Thank you. So she asked when I worked in the lab if I was working with machine learning models. And yes, of course, a lot of the, as the lab was called, is machine learning for learning health sciences. So it was a lot of our packages that focused on like taking in data, training it on like the model that we had developed, and then using that to, come up with better ways to diagnose patient issues. And specifically for Clin Spacey, it was very helpful for when a doctor inputs like a patient description, it can standardize that into a single patient profile. So no matter which doctor puts in whatever, however they may word like a certain diagnosis, the model will take that and put that into a standard unified medical language system.
Other questions?
Going back to what you said in high school, you were 100% sure what you're going to do, and then in college, university, and your eyes open to different things. So if you take a step back, I think you hit on it already, right? Explore, try different things. So go back to high school. Do something, knowing what you know now. What would be a suggested approach as to see? It's like unlimited options, right?
Yeah.
How do you kind of allow it to kind of narrow down and kind of focus on something, but still give you flexibility, right? Before you go to college.
Of course. I mean, I think the one thing that's really important is that you will go down paths that you will put a lot of work into, and you might realize towards the end of that it isn't the right thing. But the important part is to start down the path, right? So if you are interested in software engineering, start like taking classes, start going online, looking up some projects that you can maybe work on yourself, go down the path, like explore as much as you can, take like every extent, like every possibility there, and just see whether you like it. But I think definitely in high school, I didn't realize how much there's like a lot to learn out there. There's definitely, it's a very overwhelming, but even just like a single question that comes to your mind, if you have like, how do you build a model that will predict such and such? Just look the question up on Google and then go down the rabbit hole. Like it will be very like interesting for you, and you can learn a lot that way. And just like keep yourself open to opportunities and learning, because that's the best way to figure out what you really want to do.